Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine. Rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break Dip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Tickets, Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning. Happy Friday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen. Early break, full show ahead. Lots to get to. We finally have some news on Nebraska's defensive coordinator. We'll get to that in just a second. How are you today?
I am fine. How are you?
Fine. Doing just fine.
A lot of news yesterday in the world.
Yep. How was Springfield? More importantly, how was Springfield? You had a speech yesterday at Springfield?
You're a very intelligent soul. Springfield was great, Jake. It was. Hey,
How far is Springfield from here?
it is.
I've never been. Can you tell me where it's at?
Sure. You go to Flying J, and outside of
Oh, Gretna.
Gretna.
Yep. Go south.
No, okay, go
Go
you
right.
go to you go to Flying J.
Yes.
Take a right out of the lot.
So south then.
Yes, take a south right. Right out of the lot. Go about 100 yards and take a left.
Wow, this is good detail here.
Take a left on Platteview Road, which was a lonely stretch of 6 miles last night in the fog, and I didn't see any other car.
That's scary.
Yeah, I was contemplating my existence at that point.
It was very foggy last night.
Very foggy.
Very.
Okay, so 6 miles down Platteview Road to I think it's Highway 50, hang a right. The event was at I don't know, it was almost like a tin shack.
Tin shack, like a Quonset
but it was
hut.
big.
A Quonset
Yes,
hut,
kind
basically.
of a big Quonset hut, probably. So you take a ride on Highway 50, then go to Flug Road, and then hang a left, and you're on a gravel road, and you go about a quarter mile, and then boom, you think you're out in the middle of nowhere. Then all of a sudden, there's these kind of lights that appear and a lot of trucks in the park.
That's called a town.
Yeah, and that's not a town. It was outside the town. It was just a place.
Okay.
But it was great. Then they serve you steak and baked potato and salad. I had a Jack straight.
Straight Jack.
Straight
No
Jack.
Coke.
No, I didn't want the Coke.
Just Jack.
Just straight Jack. It was good. Everything was good. It was fun. It was a great crowd. That crowd's incredible.
Well, glad you had a
So
good
there's
time.
probably,
in
I don't know,
Springfield.
200 people eating free steak and asking questions about Matt Rule
Well,
and Tony White.
Yeah, here's the real question. When you spoke last night, did you have enough intel to let the people know about Tony White, who, by the way,
I have enough intel. What do you think? It happened at like noon.
oh, that was like, no, it was like 1:30 or 2 it happened. I think it was around 2 o'clock, actually.
Was it 2 o'clock?
So
Hold on, I gotta get my glasses. Talk.
the news of the day, of course, is that Nebraska does indeed have a defensive coordinator. Tony White from Syracuse is the guy for Matt Rule. Been there for a couple years.
Not Syracuse, Nebraska.
No, yeah, not yet. What, the Rockets here, the Jets, Rockets.
Yeah,
high school. Yeah,
It's
not
the orange.
the Syracuse Orange of the ACC, who had a great start to the year, and then you brought them a curse. You said these airwaves, they won't win a game the rest of the year. I believe they won one game and lost their last 5 after that. But the defense, Sip, was not bad. I mean, Tony White, in the conversation that you'll be having for the whole next year, the offseason, in the spring, in recruiting, during the season, is going to be, does Tony White operate a 3-3-5 defense in the Big Ten?
Please stop.
I'm just telling you, that's the question. Please
No, it's not.
answer the question for the people that are curious.
When Nebraska is in the nickel, it's basically a 3-3-5. What are we talking about? Why is
you got to calm people down. This is where you're the voice of the reason on it. Voice of reason.
Okay, I'll calm down. Oh,
Because
yeah,
people-
I have coffee.
We got
I
coffee.
better drink some coffee
Yeah,
right now.
have a sip, because you need to help be the voice of reason for people who are concerned.
Who is concerned? Why is it?
I'm not concerned. I think his defense is to be great here.
When Nebraska's in the nickel, they're essentially in a 3-3-5.
Okay, there you go. Calming people down
Stop.
already.
Yeah. the 4-3, 3-4, 3-3-5 defense is one of the most overblown things you'll ever find.
Here we go. Keep it going.
Yeah, I
Tell
mean,
people.
okay, Wisconsin, SIP, they're a 3-4 team. Yes, look at Wisconsin when they snap the ball, they're often in a 4-3. They just go back and forth. I don't understand the discussion. Now, the one part of it that's germane, I guess, is that three-man front, you need a nose over the center and blah, 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 and you better have that guy. And if you don't, it's kind of hard to do it, but you can. But I'm not. You can change it. I mean, I don't know if he's married to I don't even know why we're talking about it.
Well, because he was hired, and that's what he ran most recently at Syracuse. That's why you're talking about it.
And I guess it's because Pete Thamel, sports writer, identified it in his little Twitter post.
He did.
White runs a 3-3-5. I wrote it. I shouldn't have, but I did. Anyway, let's get out of that. White, I'll tell you what this hire is. Can I just use an analogy?
I'd like to know what you think this hire is.
Can I use an analogy?
Please.
Tony White, to me, it hit me like a fastball running in on my fist. This ball doesn't look like too much of a problem. And then, bam, it's right on you. Great pitch. Great hire. So
it's a good slider then, or what?
No, it's a fastball running in on your hands that you didn't expect.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't like that analogy. I like it. It's a good pitch.
Was it a strike though?
Yeah, it's a good pitch.
If it's on your hands, it wasn't a strike.
I swung.
Okay.
Yeah, I swung, and it's a good pitch. Like, it hit me kind of slow. Like, ooh, it really, as you read about him, it really grows on you. I think it's a sneaky good hire.
I do too.
A sneaky good fastball.
The more I read
Can
about
I
him,
say it that way?
Well,
a sneaky good fastball.
I like a late movement slider.
Okay, it's a late movement slider.
I don't.
All right, don't get.
Why
caught
can't
up
this be a strike? Why do you have to swing at it? That's not the strike zone.
Yeah, no, this was good.
This slider.
I'm glad we agree on this.
I like him.
Yeah,
I'm optimistic about Tony White.
Yeah, he's young, so he kind of fits that part of what Matt Rule identified. He likes the idea of having young guys, energetic guys. Now that's not his Tony White's foremost attribute. I mean, what he did at Syracuse was orchestrate quite a turnaround, right?
Right. The year before he got there, Syracuse finished number 115 nationally in total defense. Okay. 2 years later, last season, 2021, they were 19th in the country. Okay. Number 19. This year, they were 29th.
Yep.
So still pretty solid.
They got to the bowl game by their defense, not by their offense.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Their offense was 89th nationally in total offense. Their defense carried the load.
I like, this is from the ESPN article about it. How about this? This might excite fans. Okay. It says White's defenses are known to be unpredictable and aggressive, as he finished second in the ACC in 2021 by yielding 330 yards per game. You'll see a lot of blitzing from Tony White.
I like it. You like it.
I like it.
I'm glad you like it. I wondered if you were going to come in here and growl.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, I was like most fans where I'd never heard the guy before. So, okay, I wasn't grousing over here.
No, you weren't.
Yeah.
I thought
you just assumed I'd be nitpicking this.
Yeah.
Let me take you back in time to me on my chair yesterday as I got the news on Twitter. I said, I've never heard of Tony White.
Right.
I hadn't
either.
It wasn't like, I've never heard of this guy. It was, I've never heard of this guy in an optimistic way. Okay. As you know, I've been pessimistic for quite some time on the show, but that was an optimistic, never heard of this guy. So I researched him. I said, okay, all right.
Yeah.
This guy seems okay.
I know. Same.
It doesn't have to be somebody that we knew of. That's not required to be a good hire for this program.
Nope. I agree.
And it doesn't feel like to me it's a stretch. Like, we have to believe this might work or it could work. I mean, I feel like the guy gets it.
He gets it.
He gets it.
His defense calls itself the mob at Syracuse because of a mentality it seeks to achieve, which was summed up pretty well by Marlowe Wax, one of their linebackers.
Great name.
Marlowe Wax. He said, the ball is the main thing in football. So if we all attack it, if all 11 people try to attack it at once, good things are going to happen. Good things happen. Okay. This White really built his resume under Rocky Long. Had a great run. Those two, others. But he had a really good run at South Dakota State. And where he was mainly secondary coach. But I
Okay.
mean, they had a really good run at South Dakota State. They won the Mountain West 3 times, 2012, 2015, 2016. Rocky Long, I'm sure he'll talk about. I'm sure Tony White will talk about Rocky Long a lot. And then he had a good little run, Tony White at ASU. Just a brief stint. It looks like he was like an interim DC.
He was interim for the bowl game.
Yeah,
which they won 20-14.
Yeah, so he did well there, and then got his big break at Syracuse and made it happen. He's 40. He went there as a 39-year-old, 40-year-old young guy, young defensive coordinator, and made it happen. Syracuse's defense got good, and it was the impetus to Syracuse getting to a bowl game this year. It wasn't the offense. They didn't have a good offense.
But San Diego State, not South Dakota State.
Yeah, I hope to God I said San Diego
You said
State.
South Dakota
Oh,
State.
did I? Okay.
I failed to correct you, but now
my
I'll be
bad.
correct. San Diego State,
Mountain
West Coast.
But I said Mountain West. South
There you
Dakota
go,
State's
yeah.
not in the Mountain.
They're
West.
not.
So yeah, my bad. But anyway, it's San Diego State. He did a good job there. He did cross paths with Rules at UCLA, but he was a player at UCLA when Rule was an assistant coach. They never coached together. This is, he's highly thought of because he was in 220. He was the highest paid assistant coach that Syracuse has ever had. They paid him more money than they paid any assistant in their history.
Well, yeah, and I like to research. I like to see kind of the comments on the way out from fans.
Okay, what'd
and
they
my
say?
God, they are sad to see him go.
Is that right?
Oh yeah,
I didn't see that. Where
See-
did you see that?
Well, if you go like to any sort of post from a Syracuse writer or any sort of news up there, you kind of see what's the comments
Teach
on
me
Twitter.
about social media.
Well, it's very simple.
I'm joking. But you,
I could teach you.
but really, is that
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like 100% like crap. This is bad.
really?
Yeah.
Good.
So whereas
Too bad.
Whereas Marcus Satterfield,
Yeah.
when he came from South Carolina, wasn't greeted with a lot of sadness. Some like, okay, that kind of sucks, but we'll move on.
Mhm.
But mostly, yeah, we're ready for something else. For Tony White, it was, oh my God, that was our dude.
Okay.
That's the guy that made us what we were.
Yeah.
That's a huge loss.
Yeah.
The AD, why couldn't you keep him here? Or the
Nice
head coach,
job.
why couldn't you keep him? So
Well, here's why.
this is someone they wanted to keep.
Because he got a big raise. Now
course he
we
did.
don't know what he was. Okay, so they paid him $711,000 in 2020, but Syracuse is a private university, which I didn't know. So they don't. So I don't know what he's making, what he was making this season. But for some reason there were reports about 2020, the newspaper entities or whatever the media entities got tax returns and figured out he was making $711,000, which was the most they've paid any assistant coach apparently. But I guarantee you he's here because Nebraska had that big pot of money and they could probably pay him over $1 million is my guess, right?
I think so.
I think he went from probably making in the mid 700s to $1 million plus.
Well, we know that Nebraska has still
We'll
quite a
find
bit
that
of
out.
money left in that pot, it appears,
I don't
from
know.
what their hires have been so far.
I haven't added it up. I don't even know what the numbers are. We don't know. I don't know what
I think we're
Satterfield-
just assuming some numbers there. But
Yeah.
we assume that White and Satterfield are both over $1 million. $1 million
yes, I
both
would
of
think
them,
so. Yeah.
each.
Yeah, not far over.
No, I'm not thinking. No, not far, but $1 million plus.
Right. So there you go. I think you feel good about this one.
You do. And again, we talked about this week about it appears Nebraska has their secondary coach before you had your defensive coordinator in Cooper, right?
Yeah,
Evan Cooper.
Evan Cooper,
You've got your defensive line coach and Terrence Potrost Knighton.
Terrence Knighton.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty young staff now that you're going through it. Pretty bunch of young guys.
Yep. Well, that's what Matt Rule said he wanted.
right. So
Now,
yeah.
if you're Tony White, I mean,
We know the linebackers coach, but I can't say his name. So they got our linebacker.
but isn't that if you are Tony White, you accepted the job, you're taking it, but you can't bring any of your guys with you, basically, because they've already been picked out here defensively.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know how that. I don't know. I don't want to go too far into judging that because maybe this had been in the works. And
Possible.
White knew those guys. I don't know.
What was your guys' response? 402-464-56852. Tony White being named Nebraska's defensive coordinator for Matt Rule. Optimistic, pessimistic, just curious in general. 464-5685.
What are we hearing?
What
What are you hearing on the text line? That's a form of social media you can teach me about.
Well, Wet Blanket's here, and that's always a
WB.
Yep, WB is here. Let's see. He's Wet Blanket says a couple things. He says Rule is recruiting track athletes, retaining the coach of the worst position group on the team, and running a Big 12 defensive scheme. The shine from that opening press conference is fading fast. Also says Syracuse rush defense was number 73 in the country, ranked just behind Akron, Eastern Michigan, and West Virginia while playing against ACC competition. Woohoo.
Yeah, they weren't great against the run. I don't know what
Well, that's why Wet Blanket's here.
Yeah, okay.
Pour
You
some
can
cold
do
water
this.
on things.
The whole. I mean, I'd have to look into it a little further on what they had personnel-wise before I get up in arms about the run defense. Just like at Nebraska, you gotta if you look at Nebraska's rush offense, wouldn't you have to say I better look at what the offensive line has? They don't have much. Maybe Syracuse didn't have much up front. That's why stats in a vacuum are dangerous, right? Stats in a vacuum, WB, are dangerous. But now WB would come back and say, oh, yeah, well, you're happy to illustrate why you like him with stats. So what's wrong with
good
right.
for you for showing both sides there.
Right. So what's wrong with going back at you with stats?
There's nothing.
Again, vacuum. So that's dangerous. I try not to do it. The most informative thing to do is to go watch them. Right, Jake?
Yes. Yep.
Why are you smiling?
Well, we got Greg at Myrtle Beach.
Oh, okay.
And, Greg always has a comment.
I'd like to know it.
We like Greg's comments. Greg at Myrtle Beach in the text line says,
good morning, Greg.
The stats have tricked you again. They shut out Wagner. They held mighty UConn to 14.
Mm-hmm.
Real teams lit Tony White up. Notre Dame scored 41. Florida State 38. And Wake Forest waxed them with 45. Laughable hire, says Greg. Greg is not keen so far on what's going on here at Nebraska with the Matt Rule hire and his assistants so far.
No, that's fine.
Not a big fan of Satterfield on offense either.
We
need Greg to be wrong. We love Greg, but for the sake of this program and
we do need
and
Greg
some wins, Greg, we need you to be wrong.
We need Greg to be wrong
because we need to win. We're sick of losing.
Heat in here. Greg, I'm still saying promising hire. Can we just say, Jake? I'm saying promising, sneaky good hire.
I'm optimistic.
I'm not saying it's Charlie McBride. Okay. I'm saying promising, sneaky good hire. Okay. And I'm keeping an open mind about the staff, Greg. Greg, amigo, our amigo, Wet Blanket, our amigos. Can I talk to you for a second? Can't you at least give them a chance before you just throw down the gauntlet of this is awful?
Doom.
Yeah, the gauntlet of doom.
Constant doom.
Well,
coach is hired. Doom's already started.
There's enough constant doom in our world. Just for a second, just say, let's see what these guys got.
Yeah, Greg, Wet Blanket. Can we have
amigos,
a brief bit of optimism?
And
what's the bright side, guys? Can we see a bright side of these coaches?
And amigos, there's enough there to see a bright side. There is. There's enough there. Especially with Tony White, there's enough there. I mean, he did, Greg, Wet Blanket, he did orchestrate a turnaround in that Syracuse defense. Maybe not the turnaround that you wanted, maybe not enough, but it was better. He left it better than he found it, right?
Well, it reminds me a little bit, Sip.
Is that right?
It reminds me a little bit of the situation with Illinois because they got Ryan Walters from Missouri, right?
Yeah.
And Missouri was not a great – they were a fine program, but, again, a team that scuffled. Defense got better. He goes to Illinois. Great defense this year. Top 10 defense. Syracuse, Tony White inherits crap up there. Again, in the 120
Clearly.
115s for whatever, 120 defense when he got there, and then they went to 21st, now they're 29th in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Can he have that kind of leap at Nebraska?
That'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
Mhm.
Let's get a call from Paul, who is excited about Tony White. Paul, you're on early break. Go ahead.
How are you guys doing?
Hey, Paul, thanks for calling.
Yeah, they're just the Debbie Downers out there are getting to be a little too much. I thought I needed to shine some light here.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I don't have a whole lot of facts, might be the problem here, but looking at the guy, it does look exciting to me. He's been doing this defense I think he played in this defense. The articles I was reading is one of the guys that kind of perfected this defense he learned under. The thing I'm hopefully will be exciting is to see what, and I don't know, Sid, maybe you know the answer to this. Is he going to be allowed to coach when Syracuse plays Minnesota? Because that could be real interesting to see what that defense can do against a Big Ten team that's pretty darn good, as much as I hate to admit that. Do you know, Sip, is that going to be allowed?
We don't know what his level of involvement, or when he'll come over. I don't know. I talked to a Syracuse writer, and she didn't know that. It's not even official at Nebraska, so we'll have to see. But whatever. I mean, it's a good problem.
Yeah.
It's a great problem to have if he has to coach.
It's a great, it is. And I mean, So to me, the hire it's encouraging for sure.
Yes.
It's not one of his normal guys. I like that he went outside his comfort zone. He's trying something a little different. So yeah, to me, I don't see why we need to be so Debbie Downer about the whole thing. But anything with Nebraska football anymore, I do try to look at with a little bit of cautious optimism.
Good idea.
But when you look at all the other guys that are being hired, and I think we got the right guy. You go back and watch some of his old videos. Matt Rule's a heck of a guy. I think some kids are going to really buy into him, and I think he's putting together a pretty darn good staff here, guys.
Yeah.
All right, Paul. Thanks for the phone call.
Cautious optimism, though. There's no doubt about that. This hire has a way different feel than previous ones, right? It's pretty cautious out there.
Oh, it is. Well, as it should be.
Yes.
You can't go all. We have been
Yeah.
poisoned by Kool-Aid that just was terrible, and still our stomachs are still recovering.
It attacked our intestines.
We were in the hospital for a while.
Yeah. Hospitalized.
Here from John in the text line. Here's John.
We were not hospitalized.
No, theoretically, hypothetically. John says, "I live in a world of sadness and disappointment. I'm a Nebraska fan. It's all I have." That's John. In terms of why people are, poo-pooing any sort of hires.
I live in a world of sadness and disappointment.
Wet Blanket is back again. WB. Says, I tried optimism last year when Sip told me that the O-line was firing off the ball and Caleb Tanner was a wrecking ball, a pass rushing machine. How'd that work out for me?
Not very well. Caleb Tanner didn't have that bad a year.
No, he didn't. It wasn't a superstar, but he was fine.
Yeah, let's not do that to Caleb Tanner.
You know what did freak out people yesterday before we get one more phone call?
Okay, what?
This is not regarding Tony White. Well, it kind of is regarding Tony White because it's his side of the ball.
What?
Do you know who was at the Iowa State men's basketball game last night?
No.
Ernest Hausman.
Ooh.
And that game was in Iowa City.
Ooh.
He was visiting the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Ooh.
And at a basketball game where Iowa crushed Iowa State.
Ooh. Why?
Why?
What?
Seeing those guys go to the pros.
You know what I'd say to Ernest?
What'd you say?
I'd say, Ernest, I was playing for the division championship against you. You had a good game. Did you notice the crowd wasn't that good? You notice the empty seats? Did you notice the lack of enthusiasm? Why would you want to go there?
Well, how many tickets were sold for the Wisconsin-Nebraska game? 50,000? Or how many people were in attendance for the Nebraska-Wisconsin game the week before?
Well, they weren't playing for anything. If Nebraska's playing for a division championship,
Fair.
How many people would be at? I mean, come on.
Fair.
Yeah. I'm drinking coffee.
I know. I appreciate that. I'm not trying to rattle you over there.
Yeah,
I'm just bringing up a point.
Came up with it. Well, it was not very.
Well, you were right, though. They were playing for a division
idiotic.
title. They were playing for a division title.
Yeah.
You were correct
Yeah.
in your argument there.
And idiotic would be Wouldn't
Well,
you say that was an idiotic?
It wasn't
play?
idiotic. It wasn't the best. I would just say that would be a kick in the you know what if Ernest went
yes.
to Iowa.
Yes.
You know, it's one thing to go out of the conference. We root for you at other
why?
places. You
God.
go in the same division for at least 1 year.
Is it
before it changes?
4.64, 5.685. Is that a kick?
Yeah, it's a big old.
Is it?
If you were to commit, that's a big kick to the you know what.
I think it is. I'd say Wisconsin, similar kick. Minnesota, similar kick.
It hurts more at Iowa.
Yeah.
The kick hurts worse if you go to Iowa.
Yeah. Michigan wouldn't be a big kick.
No.
It would.
I'd say, well, okay, great playoff team.
I'd be envious.
Sure. Iowa. Ernest, we just beat those guys.
Yeah. And Ferentz, I mean, what are you going to do with this? How long Ferentz going to be there? I mean, Ferentz is how old? I think he's knocking on 69.
What do you want to take a guess?
I think he's 70, 68, 69, 70. One of the three. 68, 60.
67.
Oh,
Now, when does he turn 68 is the question. I turned 68 in August, so
okay. He's 67.
67 years old. Kirk Ferentz.
Well, maybe he's got another.
How long is Phil Parker there?
Yeah.
That's the genius behind the
God,
defense.
Hausman was at Iowa? All right, we got another call. I
Okay,
love it.
one more call before we get to break. John, you're on early break. Go ahead,
Yeah.
John.
Yeah, I just don't understand the Tony White hire coming from the ACC and all. So it's kind of sketchy to me.
Okay.
About it.
What, okay, now what about the ACC part of it concerns you? John.
I think we lost John.
Yeah.
All right, well, John's concerned. We know that.
Is it? Help me with that, Jake.
Well, the ACC is not quite the toughness and physicality of the Big Ten. Probably that's what he's going for there.
Yeah.
You don't think of those schools as tough and physical like this league is.
I think of Clemson that way.
To a certain extent.
Hmm.
Are they tougher than Michigan?
You see Wake Forest? Wake Forest runs the ball now.
Mm-hmm.
Wake Forest runs the ball. I don't know. I don't watch that conference very closely. Florida State's not very physical. I'll say that.
I think
they're 9-3.
Going back to a previous text to me, the one that said that Syracuse ranked in the 70s in terms of rush defense this year. That's concerning.
68th.
Okay, 68th.
Yeah. 68.
That's where a fan might say, well, we got to stop the run in this conference. Got to be physical.
Matt Rule, I think, understands that.
I sure hope that he does. I assume he does.
He's a Penn
I'll
State.
give him, yeah.
He's a former Penn State linebacker. I mean, you think he doesn't understand that? Come on.
Same brand. Same toughness in this conference.
All right, what are we talking about next?
When we come back, I want to talk a little about Wisconsin, and I also want to mention
Wisconsin, what about him?
just offensive identity.
Oh, yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yes.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, I got you.
We'll do that next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again in their high production per hour, which grows to 27 32 more based on also plus with prescription costs at very low premium. Life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
2022 fly fast. And while you celebrate the upcoming holidays, Mullen Motors is looking ahead to 2023 and trying to open up space on their lot. Stop by Mullen Motors for year-end sale and select from some of the best options of used vehicles in Lincoln at the best prices of the year. Don't end the year in your aging vehicle. Search Mullen Motors lot today for their year-end sale, just north of 48th and Lake.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and around at shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join a brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Decking the halls with boughs of holly sure sounds great until you're the one who has to do it. Take the stress out of your holiday parties this year and host your gatherings at Suite A Events by Mary Ellen's. Suite A is the perfect place for your year-end company parties or other large gatherings. Suite A and Mary Ellen's can handle the food, the desserts, the decorations, and of course, those holiday spirits. See for yourself online at suiteaevents.com or at 27th and Pine Lake, right next to Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul.
You don't have to fly to Vegas for big slot wins. You don't have to haul yourself across the river. You don't even have to leave Lincoln for over 425 of the newest, hottest slots, simulcast racing, and 24/7 gaming action. Warhorse Casino Lincoln is now open, right off Highway 77 in West Denton. Gaming, cocktails, winning. It's all right here. Visit warhorsecasino.com. Must be 21 or older to enter. Proper ID is required. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer 2 of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Mostly cloudy skies this morning, but we should break into some sunshine by this afternoon. We'll top out near 41. Winds out of the northwest at around 10 to 15. Mostly clear tonight. The low dropping down to around 4. And a nice warm up just in time for the start of the weekend. We should be mainly sunny tomorrow with a high of 47. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, before we get to Wisconsin, I got to ask you something, Sip, regarding how embarrassed your favorite NFL team should be right now. You were a long time, not as much anymore, a long time Raiders fan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You know, last night they played on Thursday Night Football against your boy Baker Dillfield. Baker Mayfield, a.k.a. by Sip Baker Dillfield.
Look at him.
Who, just got cut by the Carolina Panthers last week. The Rams have quarterback problems. Matthew Stafford's hurt. John Wolford is a guy named John Wolford. He's not good. And they were trailing in this game 16-3.
Yeah.
Okay? Now in LA, so it's a home game, but the Rams are 3-9. Baker Mayfield gets it to a 16-10 game, gets the ball back, 98-yard drive to end the game for a touchdown to win.
Jeez.
He has been in LA for like 3 days.
Nice job, though.
And he orchestrates a drive to basically end the Raiders season.
Well, congratulations to Baker, seriously.
How embarrassed are you as a former Raiders fan?
pretty embarrassed about the whole season.
You should be. It's a disaster.
Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, I told you. Well, he's not quite to Hackett territory, but he's been trending that way for a while.
But he seems eminently more competent than Hackett.
Well, it's because he's been with the Patriots for a long time. When you work with Bill Belichick, you should be competent. You've seen a lot of success. You've won a lot of playoff games, a lot of games in general. Then you leave the big man, and it's on your own.
Hackett doesn't even feign competency.
I told you week one, he's just a moron.
He doesn't even try to be look competent.
I think there's a chance.
McDaniels does.
There's a chance that Nathaniel Hackett might end up being the worst head coach in the history of the NFL.
Ooh, that's a strong
who contends for that?
Well,
honor?
it's a long history.
I'm a Dolphins fan, and Cam Cameron had one season as the head coach. He went 1-15. So I guess he could be up there. If he got jobs after that as coordinator still in college and the NFL. So
I don't know this answer. So I hate.
But this guy is making not Raf. Sorry, I point to Raf's spot. That's where he stands. But Nathaniel Hackett has made a team that should be they're 3-9. They should be 6-3. They should be opposite, and they're 3-9.
Okay, is there any? Is there any over seasons in NFL history? Overs.
Yes, 2 of them.
Okay.
The 3 of them. I think there's 3.
Okay.
The Lions, the Bucks, and I think the Browns had 0-16.
Wouldn't those coaches be in line for the most incompetent coaches?
Yeah, Hugh Jackson for the Browns is pretty bad. And then
Hugh Jackson was a disaster.
I think it was Rod Marinelli for the Lions who went 0-16, which I don't think he's a bad coach.
No, I don't think Marinelli was that bad.
I don't think he was.
I can't say Marinelli.
I think Hackett is the worst of all of them, although Hugh Jackson was pretty bad.
Hugh Jackson got bad.
But he also was, I think, an interim coach for the Raiders at one point and not terrible in that role.
Hugh Jackson was on Hard Knocks. They had the Browns on Hard Knocks, and it revealed Hugh to be substandard as a coach. Wisconsin,
yes,
you're interested in.
Yeah. Okay, so we brought up yesterday on the show that Wisconsin hired Phil Longo, who is the former North Carolina offensive coordinator who really helped Drake May become this electric passer, really high-flying offense. They lose to Clemson in the title game in the ACC, but still, they made the title game of the ACC. Phil Longo brings in a fast-moving passing offense. They can run the football. They can run it, but Drake May was an electric passer. Staying at North Carolina, he's not going to transfer to Wisconsin. But I'm curious, Sip, is Wisconsin really in need of shifting their offensive identity as they appear to be going to?
Well, we appear. Yeah. Do they need to? I mean, I like that blueprint up there because they have big in their state, big human beings, big cheese-eating high school human beings that can play their offensive line. That's their identity because they can recruit to it because it's so prevalent in their state. Have you ever been to Wisconsin?
I have.
Have you ever been to Madison?
Uh-huh.
Did you notice?
I liked it.
That everybody's big. Do you ever the women, the men?
You sound like Charles Barkley describing San Antonio now.
I'm always struck by how big people are in Wisconsin. I'm just saying tall, big, blonde people. A lot of them, right?
Blonde?
A lot of blondes.
Okay.
And so you recruit to that. I'm not convinced that Fickle's going away from it. Maybe a little bit. It's very interesting what's happening, though. I would love to, what a possible column would be for the old writer over here? Call Alvarez, call Osborne, and ask them, what do you think about where your programs are going, where they've been going, what they look like to you? Because it looks like they're gravitating away from what made them what they were, at the height of their success.
Right.
Right.
Well, I think Nebraska fans are hoping that they go through some pain like we went through. Listen, if we had to go through the pain, why not you? You're going away from a blueprint that was pretty successful.
You think they're going away from it.
Right. Well, I don't think that you're going to see a Phil Longo go from being a pass-heavy, quick offense to slowing it down and running it.
No, so are they going to go? I mean, you saw in Lincoln, they operated out of the power I.
Yes.
Did the Badgers. Wisconsin used a fullback and ran out of the power I. It's so beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I love fullbacks.
They use a fullback and they run an I formation. Now, will they still do that? Probably not. I don't think so. Probably not. You're right. Maybe though, but I doubt it. Yeah. Transformation.
Like, there's no doubt like Wisconsin's offense was not good this year, but it's been an offense, that system, that the
identity.
You
like the
has
identity.
been successful.
Yeah.
They pretty much they pretty much have won 10, 11 games a year for quite some time. They've been on top of the West mostly.
Fired Paul Chryst.
And you got rid of Chryst. I'm not saying that, that Chryst firing him was the wrong move, but I don't think that completely going away from what he did and how he operated was the right move.
But hold on. It becomes a little complicated because then are you just limiting your coaching pool then by saying, well, we can only hire coaches that are going to operate a certain way? Did you do that? Can you do that? Barry's not even in charge anymore. Alvarez. He's not even in charge.
I know.
So who's dictating what there, Jake? I mean, I get what you're saying, and I'm fundamentally with you, but there's a reality to the discussion. There was a reality at Nebraska.
This feels like to be, again, it's Chris McIntosh saying, this is my program. I'm putting my stamp on this. Barry,
we've seen that before.
You're out. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying be careful what you wish for, Badgers fans.
I'm with you.
It sounds like Chris McIntosh is Nebraska a la 2003, 2004.
Steve Peterson.
Right.
2003.
Well, maybe he says we were gravitating to mediocrity.
Yeah,
they were pretty. They were 6-6 this year.
It looks very similar. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Paul Chryst' record, overall record, really good.
Similar to Solich's, right?
Yeah,
similar?
winning percentage was very similar.
Very similar.
Yeah. I'm surprised Wisconsin's fans don't. Maybe they do, but I don't think they do. Talk about like what are we doing? We got to be. We better be careful here. Look what happened at Nebraska. I wonder if there's any
probably
talk
think
like
they
that.
Can't have that happen. We're better than Nebraska. They never beat us. We're better than those guys. We're not going to go through that crap.
Well, look, you're right though. It looks like they could be on the precipice of it. But now what works against that conversation is you have a lot of confidence in Fickle, right? I do. I have a lot of confidence in Fickle. Don't you?
Yeah.
I think as long as Fickle's the coach, they'll be physical on offense. I think that.
Yeah, I think Fickle's a good coach. Inside, I'm hoping that they go through some pains that we have gone through.
It's interesting to me that you do that.
Why is that so bad?
That you wish pain on other people.
Because
I don't know.
Like physical pain, just like emotional pain, right?
Even emotional pain. You do that a lot. I don't know that I'm not making a character judgment at all. It's interesting to me.
I can have my character judge. It's fine.
I'm not doing that.
By the way, regarding Wisconsin, before we get to break, Wisconsin former quarterback Graham Mertz is going to Kentucky.
Okay. You asked the question.
We did.
You
said, "Will Graham Mertz be in the Power 5 next
you
year?"
did. And you know what Graham Mertz gave you?
The SEC.
He gave you the bird.
He gave the blurred out bird.
Yeah.
On the stream, it's blurred out, baby.
Yeah.
That's
Where
to
am
you,
I
Jake.
going, Jake? I'm going to Kentucky. Where's that? In the SEC.
Last time I checked, that's Power 5. Pal. Sport champ. That's Graham Mertz. Well, I might have the last laugh if he's bad there, though. If he starts,
you could have the last laugh.
Okay, well, congrats, Graham.
Yeah.
I called this, though.
Yeah, you're going to throw.
If he's successful, it's going to be triple birds my way.
You threw 26 interceptions at Wisconsin. You're going to throw 26 in one season at Kentucky against those SEC
26
defense?
in one season. Come on. That's not happening.
Graham Mertz, will he be the starting quarterback?
But Will Levis is to the, going pro, in the pros.
Graham Mertz to Kentucky. Ernest Hausman looking at Iowa.
To Iowa, yeah.
Looking at Iowa. Boy, I mean, you got to say the transfer portal does create some interesting scenarios.
If I'm Tony White, I get to Lincoln ASAP, but then make sure I go see Ernest.
I think that ship is sailing.
Well, it's not sailing. It can still turn back. Like
Yeah.
you said, something like Matt Rule's ship turned back.
It did.
It was out to sea. It came back.
Yeah.
Maybe Tony White can go track down in a speedboat and go get Ernest Hausman.
Yeah, in a speedboat.
Yeah, in a speedboat.
With the Coast Guard.
Yes.
With the Coast Guard.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Get the speedboat out.
Yep.
Song of the day is next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills. The best can play those and more without everything City of Lincoln at Double High Speed in rate and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit allofiber.com/local.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
It's another hockey jersey auction night this Saturday as the Lincoln Stars host the Tri-City Storm for Down Syndrome Night at the Icebox. Santa and Mrs. Claus will also be on hand to meet and greet with fans throughout the night. With only 2 home games left before Christmas, make sure to make your holiday plans with the Stars. The puck drops at 6:05, and tickets can be purchased now at LincolnStars.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Carper for O Street Carpet. For Christmas, we're doing everything possible to help you spruce up your home without making a dent in your holiday budget. If you need new wood flooring, new carpet, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you want to shop at O Street Carpet. We offer 12-month same-as-cash financing, Lincoln's best selection in stock, free in-home measuring, and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
You don't have to fly to Vegas for big slot wins. You don't have to haul yourself across the river. You don't even have to leave Lincoln for over 425 of the newest, hottest slots, simulcast racing, and 24/7 gaming action. Warhorse Casino Lincoln is now open right off 77 in West Denton. Gaming, cocktails, visit warhorsecasino.com. Must be 21 or older to enter. Proper ID is required. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're a big tough? If you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's Actionable Song of the Day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It was the 3rd of September. That day I'll always remember. Yes, I will. 'Cause that was the day that my daddy died. I never got a chance to see him. Never heard nothing but bad things about him. Mama, I'm depending on you. Tell me the truth. Mama just hung her head and said, son, Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. Oh, Papa was a rolling stone.
Song of the day, Papa Was a Rolling Stone by The Temptations from 1972. 464-568-51 is bad, 10 is good. Texture rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day. Once again, from 1972, your Song of the Day, Papa Was a Rolling Stone by The Temptations. 464-568-51 is bad, 10 is good. Texture rating.
Whoa. You just blew.
Josh gave you a 10.
Nice, Josh. You just blew everybody away. That's amazing. Kudos to you, first of all.
Thank you.
That, I don't even know what to say. How'd you come up with that?
Well, I'll give you that's a shout out to the captain for Sean Jackson. He likes that song a lot.
Okay.
He plays it once in a while.
Okay.
I've never played it for Song of the Day.
Shout out to the captain. We don't
captain.
shout out to the captain enough.
The captain for Sean Jackson.
God bless the
It's
captain.
one of his favorite songs.
Yeah, he plays good. I've noticed
got
he
some good
plays
music.
He plays some good intro.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot that's going through my mind. The show's really taking a turn for the better here.
Right at this moment.
Well, I
Or
mean,
today.
we plugged in that air freshener.
Oh yeah. You thought it was a night light.
But you quickly can tell it's an air freshener because the whole thing changed.
It smells good
yeah,
here.
Yeah. Then you played that. I got a Halls in.
It's not candy.
I have a
cough
drop in. Everything's starting to look up. That's a 9. I'll give it a 9.7.
That's really high for you.
I
9.7.
I'm just amazed that you came up with that.
I thought it was a proper time to play. It was a good song. You know, it's a good Friday song, right? It's a good everyday song.
So I don't know. That has to be what year?
1972.
Okay, 72.
Yeah.
Now this is the part of the show where we use the 70s to illustrate how bad everything has gotten since.
Nothing like that coming out right now.
No, why though? Could we? I would like Rick Heyman at some point to address this. Why does nobody make music like that anymore? What happened?
Well, people have gotten lazy.
No, come on.
There's
It's got to be something
There's
more
no
than
big
that.
band anymore. You know, there's actual trumpets and different sound in that band. Now they just make that off the keyboard.
No,
Off the
it's got to
computer.
be more than that. Like, did the talent go away? What's the deal?
I think it's laziness.
I don't. I think it's
Josh agrees with me.
I think there's more to it than that. But why did it go away? I don't get it. It couldn't have totally gone away. There's got to be people making similar
Some.
music. 9.7. Good job, Kate.
Some ratings. They're high today.
Can you tell I'm got a cough drop in?
Yes. Absolutely.
Can you?
Yep. 9.
Can you now?
10. Harper 7. Harper's dad a 2.
What about now?
Oh my God.
All right.
I
Go
can't
ahead.
keep
Go
going.
ahead.
10. how about this description from Mouth of the South?
Okay.
Rare occasion you did something right.
Mouth of the South.
Thank you. I'll take. Hey, we all have one occasion, right? Sometimes you just have one. Mickey says a 10.
Mickey.
Yeah. 7 from Rod. Jennifer 7. Creative Jake. Hubby 6.5.
Wait a second. Hubby 6.5.
Jennifer 7.
Okay.
And
Well,
she
I thought
says
they give it a
creative.
little. Yeah, I thought they give a little higher. They just were in Motown. Jennifer and Hubby.
It should be a 10.
Jennifer and Hubby just visited Motown.
John and Fremont to 5. Pecan Pie a 10. Corey in Lincoln. Our Corey a 7.
Ooh, high for Corey.
TC Dale 9.9. Houston. Harrison's brother 6.8.
Shout out to Houston. Shout out to Harrison. I listened to Harrison at night. Boy, he knows he's good on radio.
He's solid. Yeah.
He's coming for
Shout
your
out to
job.
Harrison.
He's coming
Yeah,
for
I
your
know.
job.
I know. It was everyone's gunning for me.
Harrison's coming for you.
Joe 7. Joe and Boulder 7. Shout out Joe. We'll see you next year at the game.
Yes.
Party at Joe's house.
And Prime's house.
Yeah, party at Joe and Prime. Leroy 7. And it's just I can't keep up. The ratings keep coming in so high.
people listening?
Yes. Before we get to aging gracefully,
Josh, we got a handful of listeners out there.
a handful, 12. Yeah. 1,000.
That was oddly specific.
So before we get to aging gracefully, a quick. I didn't mean to wait this long to mention this, but Nebraska volleyball did fall yesterday in the Sweet 16. They led 2-1, and they had several match points in set 4. I watched several match points. They lose set 4, 32-30. So a lot of energy goes into that. Now Oregon's got all the energy, and they're up like 14-5, I believe.
14-5, and then Nebraska scored 6 straight.
Yep, and you just can't score.
Hard to come
9 straight points in volleyball. It doesn't happen like that. So Huskers lose 15-11 in the 5th set. Oregon on to the Elite 8. Nebraska's season ends in the Sweet 16.
Do you want to age gracefully?
Yeah, let's do it.
Aging gracefully. You know who ages really gracefully? You know who I'm going with, right? John Cook.
John Cook.
You want someone who's an authority on aging gracefully. First of all, fit. Keeps himself fit. Second of all, interesting. He always has interesting takes. He's very honest. And I thought he lost gracefully yesterday. He told his team, I don't feel like we lost that as much as they wanted. He tipped his cap to Oregon. Said they went and won the match. Yes. They went and won the match. He told his players, I don't think we lost as much as they wanted. Good job. So that's losing gracefully and aging gracefully simultaneously.
John Cook.
Yeah, John is upright. He's not hunched. I mean, one thing I'd say, and I got to watch this as I get older. If I'm shuffling my feet, tell me to pick up my feet and stand up straight. Okay. All right. Because when you start shuffling and start walking sideways, kind of, church is about out. Okay.
I like that description. Church is almost out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, John Cook is definitely aging gracefully.
Yeah.
Be like John Cook.
Hard for me to do because he's got all his hair and he's 6'4".
He's 6'4"?
Well, don't we think? He's taller than you.
I'm 6'1".
Okay.
I don't think his height is anywhere out there for anybody to see because he's not playing. How tall is John Cook?
I don't think it's a hidden thing.
John Cook's height?
6'3", 6'4".
Let's go 6'3".
Okay.
6'3" for John Cook.
He walks upright, doesn't shuffle. Still very with it.
And I think that if you're a Nebraska fan, you understand probably that next year will be just fine for the Huskers.
Yeah, this ends quite a lengthy streak of them reaching regional finals.
I mean, Nebraska lost the championship last year. They were runners-up last season.
Yeah, it's at least a streak of 10 straight years of reaching the regional finals.
Think about that for a second.
Right.
That's incredible.
Right.
That's a lot of success.
Yeah. It's double digits. Now, correct me. Is anybody in the text line correcting me on that? I think it's double digits. As far as going to straight regional finals. Okay. All right. We aged gracefully there.
11 straight years, someone says.
11 straight years.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's why you don't get too shook up.
Imagine Nebraska basketball going to 11 straight regional finals.
That'd be incredible.
You got to win a tournament game first before that, which has never happened here.
That'd be incredible.
It would.
How much would that be? How fun would that be for the ticket?
It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's more fun to win than it is to lose. Chaos can be fun, but not consistent chaos.
I'm ready for.
Let's have some winning times.
Yeah.
Top of the hour next. Early break of the ticket.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. Renew tons of ceramic window tinting. It's like all one. Do for you.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and things are rocking in Louisville. We've got transport showing up every day with loads of new inventory, lots of new trucks, SUVs, and crossovers. Our pre-owned inventory is also filling up fast. Our GMC Terrain inventory is really filling up fast, so we're putting special pricing on those right now. This is the time to check out our GMC Terrains, as we've got all models with a great selection of colors at a discounted price. So please stop in or check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
This is Lindsay Teal from the Nebraska Golf Team. If you're looking for a Christmas gift for the avid golfer in your life, don't give them something they can't even use until spring. Get them the gift of indoor golf from Double Eagle Golf. Grab a gift card for a stocking stuffer, or give the gift of a membership and let them golf all year long. Their space is also perfect for Christmas parties, corporate events, birthday parties, or anything else. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Holiday wishes really do come true. Through January 4th, 2023, when you enter any non-winning Nebraska lottery, $1 Holiday Wishes 2X, $5 Holiday Wishes 10X, or $10 Holiday Wishes 20X scratch ticket, you have a chance to win $1,000, $5,000, or $10,000. There are 2 drawings for winners, so visit your nearest Nebraska lottery retailer today, buy some tickets, and enter our Holiday Wishes Second Chance promotion. Top prize odds vary by game.
Do you carry that hockey stick with you everywhere you go?
Yep, it's my lucky hockey stick. I scored 5 goals in one game with this baby.
And you have to bring it into the convenience store?
How else would I get this bag of chips to the counter? Or point to the Nebraska Lottery scratch games I want to buy?
I suppose you scratch the tickets with it too?
No, that would be weird.
Nebraska Lottery scratch games. Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, brother people, and pedigree, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Decking the halls with boughs of holly sure sounds great until you're the one who has to do it. Take the stress out of your holiday parties this year and host your gatherings at Suite A Events by Mary Ellen's. Suite A is the perfect place for your year-end company parties or other large gatherings. Suite A and Mary Ellen's can handle the food, the desserts, the decorations, and of course, those holiday spirits. See for yourself online at SuiteAEvents.com or at 27th and Pine Lake, right next to Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you can earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/.
Looking for some holiday fun right in the heart of downtown Lincoln? Bring your friends and family. Lincoln's large Christmas experience, quality lights and vibrant colors, holiday characters, all synchronized to music. A new holiday tradition this year, and experience the magic of Nebraska Christmas Light Show at Haymarket Park from November 26th to January 3rd, 5 p.m. to midnight. Purchase tickets today at NebraskaChristmasLightShow.com.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Friday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, early break. Fun show so far. You got the podcast at theticketfm.com. You can always rate and comment on the podcast as well if you don't listen live. Appreciate that. You can always call or text 402-464-5685. Watch and comment. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. The show sponsored by Gaina Trucking. You want to apologize real quick?
Yeah, for the Hall's cough drops when I was just being obstinate and obnoxious. And I'm sorry. We had some negative reaction on the text
There was
line.
some profanity, actually.
And people threatening to tune off the show.
Yep.
My bad. Don't tune off the show. I won't do it again.
Well, somebody creatively used your analogy for aging gracefully. It's that they're going to shuffle off the station if you keep choosing.
Oh, yes.
Cough
don't do that.
drops, as you said, don't. What was the line when you're shuffling?
I said when you start shuffling sideways, church is almost out.
I like that one.
Hey, I'll watch that. Okay, that cough.
You
drop
did that
thing.
one intentionally. You said like that.
I
You
did.
chomped on it.
I did. All right, I'm not. I just got coffee now.
Good. Well, you had coffee.
Thank you to Bagels and Joe.
You had coffee in the first hour. You still did it.
Then I went away from it.
Yep. Now it's back. We have a topic we're going to get to here in a second. I want to know if people believe it's more important to have a recruiting class or transfer portal signings to be an elite team. Okay. We'll get to that in a second. But before that, we have a phone call. We don't hear from this guy very often, except from the text line. He doesn't call in that often, but we appreciate it when he does. Greg in Myrtle Beach is on the line. Greg, good morning. How are things going? You're on early break.
Another day in paradise, boys. Greetings from Myrtle Beach, the fastest growing city in the United States of America.
I thought that was Des Moines.
Down USA, Jake.
Huh. I thought Des Moines was the fastest growing.
Not according to U.S. News and World Report, my friend.
Okay, I
Myrtle
believe
Beach
you.
is
Yeah.
that.
All
Myrtle
right.
Beach is that.
Greg, how are you?
Great. Listen, nobody's going to turn off you guys. This is a historic day. This show concrete proves that all of your mentorship and training of young Jake is paying off. So he just pulled out Papa was a Rolling Stone. How about that?
He did. Greg, he did it. I know. I was proud.
And-
like a father.
Young Jake is about ready to grasp the pebble from Master Sip's hand. Yeah.
Give me that pebble. Give it to me.
Don't ask for it like that.
I'm taking the pebble.
Please. Okay, Greg. It wasn't that something. Wasn't that something?
Hey, real quick, cool story.
Okay.
Norman Whitfield, the Motown legend, wrote that song. My friend Smokey Robinson told me this story.
Okay.
When they went to record the song in the studio, Dennis Edwards was the lead singer of the Temptations on that song.
Okay.
And Dennis Edwards read the lyrics, blew a gasket, and walked out of the studio.
Is that
and they
right?
went and at Motown at the house in Detroit, and they went in. They said, "Hey, what's the deal?" And he said, "Man, I don't know why he's trying to piss me off." They said, the first sentence of the song is, "It was the 3rd of September, a day I'll always remember.
Mm-hmm.
That was the day my daddy died."
Yeah.
That's how Whitfield wrote it, and he did not know it, but that literally was the day that Dennis Edwards' dad died, and that's what made him mad.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's a good fact.
Just an odd occurrence, kind of, right?
Absolutely. They calmed him down, got him back in, and the song that you hear is the first take.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. I mean,
no joke.
that is some serious talent then, right? I mean, it's ridiculous talent.
Right. And speaking of talent, I had a chance before the godfather of soul, the great South Carolinian James Brown, passed away.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, what's going on with all this music? What's ruining? Why is there no more good music?
What'd
And
he
he
say?
said, in my day, young primarily Afro-American kids grew up singing and harmonizing on the street corner. Now all they do is talk and play rap. And I said, rap is crap. And he said, yeah. And I said, the godfather of soul looked at me and he said, man, just remember, if you ain't got no horns, you ain't got no band.
Yeah.
I love that.
Jake likes the
Hey, listen,
horns.
I'm in tune with that.
Jake loves the horn section. I do too, by the way. I do. All right. Okay, Matt Rule. Matt Rule staff. Do you have a summation of what you're seeing?
Very unimpressive. Here's the problem. It's not that we're not unoptimistic. It's not that we don't love Nebraska. Hell, I was there when Taggy took it across.
Yes, you
I cranked up a Volkswagen Super Beetle in 1970 with a bad solenoid, and I knew when I left Lincoln that I couldn't turn the car off until I got to Miami. Okay, so I filled it up with gas the whole way from Lincoln to Miami at the Orange Bowl, knowing the car would not start if I turned it off. So don't question our loyalty, and don't question Scott Shanley's loyalty. Okay, and here's the problem.
Okay. Oh boy.
I actually go to games.
Yes.
Okay, we have a box at South Carolina, Marcus Satterfield. We have a box at Clemson, and we had a box at the Panthers games until we couldn't give it away anymore because Matt Rule ran the whole thing into the ground. And I know what you're going to say, but here's the deal.
Okay.
Carolina Panthers history. Look at the coaches. Dom Capers, Ron Rivera, John Fox, Super Bowl, playoffs. The worst coach in the history of the franchise is Matt Rule. And it's not simply this is the NFL thing. It's a coaching thing. Okay. But we go to games and we watch coaches, and film doesn't lie. So let's do. You want to do the autopsy on the Matt Rule hire? Okay. The search rules are the longer it goes, the worse it is for the school. I told you several times it was a poor search from the start, and Trev made a lot of rookie mistakes. You had a 5 to 6 week head start on everybody, and you totally blew it. And if Matt Rule was your top choice from the start, you got a real problem. Then we try to do a Jim Psaki circle back and go over to Kansas, get a football coach. I go to Kansas with a Brinks truck to get Bill Self. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's not our fault that Trev paid a Ferrari price for a Ford. And everybody's so sensitive with a Trev crush that they get mad at anybody who tells them the facts and the reality. Shanley is a Super Bowl champion and a Husker walk-on. And we're pointing out facts from real sources that you guys don't have. And if you're a Trev fan, this is bad for Trev. If I repped him, which I don't, it's bad for him because this contract the contract terms suck for Nebraska, and it likely assures that Trev will only get one football hire because he wasted his mulligan. You gave away your leverage to a fired average coach. You overpaid for a middling Charlotte search firm. You way overpaid for Matt Rule because too much of this money is guaranteed, and it's too many years. Now, remember, Sip and Jake, everybody out there was screaming, saying, don't burn us again with any long-term contracts or huge buyouts, right?
Right.
That's what we heard. Yeah. Well, 90% of Rule's money is guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
And Trev said, we honor all of our contracts at Nebraska.
Yeah.
So I was at the South Carolina Clemson game with arguably the top agent in the country. Okay. And I asked him about the Nebraska search, and he literally laughed, as I told you, Sip. Mm-hmm. And I said, why are you laughing? He said, you'll laugh too when I tell you the numbers.
Yeah.
He told me the numbers. He said, he said, not me, it's the worst contract for a school since Mel Tucker and Jimbo. So here's the facts. The top agents, the top 3 agents in college football, they're like great white sharks, and they're the top of the food chain.
Sexton.
They make $50 million.
Yeah.
No comment.
Okay.
They make $50 million plus on commission, and they feast on rookie ADs like Trev. They smelled the blood in the water when Trev didn't close early.
Okay.
They flipped the leverage on the deal,
right?
And then they pulled him into the deep water and they devoured it.
Oh boy!
And you think that they didn't know about, had not done their research about the length of the Steve Peterson search and that disaster? That was the backdrop. But this whole thing to me, as a Husker fan outside of there, having watched Rule coach, watched him coach, is it's a typical Nebraska massive waste of money. And now everybody says, oh, well, money's no big deal.
Yeah.
Well, look at what you bought. Just look at what you bought. Trev always says we have to be good stewards of our money.
Yeah.
Well, Matt Rule is a tremendously low value hire. Wisconsin got the real program builder, Luke Fickell, for millions less. And the truth is, this is my problem. There's nothing on Matt Rule's resume to justify giving him the keys to a massive blue blood program like Nebraska with 5 national championships and 46 conference titles.
Now, hold on.
So look around. Yeah, look around if you don't believe me.
Well, hold on now.
If you think Bama and Southern Cal and Notre Dame programs of that quality would give Matt Rule a sniff, you're wrong.
How can you say
he was?
Hold on, Greg. How can you say it's a waste of money before he coaches a game? A lot of these hires are just projections. I mean, you're just trying to project.
Yeah, I agree 100%. There's no 100% guarantee, but you know who we should have gone after and who we should have hired, and we talked about that at length because that's your most likely guarantee of success.
Urban.
The problem, as I repeat, the problem is the terms of the contract. You had to hire a football coach. We got that. So why don't we hire a great one? And why do we give an 8-year contract with 90% of the money guaranteed? And the guy stands up at the presser and he literally talks to us about all these players that he's put in the pros without mentioning that he couldn't coach in the pros. And then he says, and by the way, they won Sunday. Well, yeah, they won Sunday. They won 2 out of 3 because your crummy coaching butt is out of town. He was so bad they had to turn up the music at the stadium, the buffer music, because the crowd, 25,000 of them were saying fire Matt Rule. And I was there. I saw it. So now we talk about we're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
You know who doesn't run the ball? The Panthers didn't run the ball. South Carolina couldn't run the ball with Satterfield. I sat there and watched the games.
Mm-hmm.
We don't make this stuff up.
I know.
That's where you are. So, and I'll give you this last bit of proof.
Okay.
Okay. If you don't believe me, if you just Google Matt Rule, Dan Orlovsky. Orlovsky's a 13-year NFL veteran.
Sure.
He's the broadcaster for ESPN.
Okay.
And here's what he has a tape breakdown of Rule and the Panthers. You could literally sit in our box and call every single play while the game was going on. And Orlovsky said, "This is my favorite tape of the year so far." The article is entitled "Coaching Malpractice." Straight up, this is unacceptable. Candidly, it's coaching malpractice, and any Panthers fan from home should send this tape to the organization. And when you watch them play, you could sit there. Whenever McCaffrey was lined up slightly behind Mayfield, it was a running play.
Yeah.
And then whenever McCaffrey lined up on Mayfield's hip, it was a throw. That's how bad this guy sucks in the NFL. And that's what we just had. So that's why we get upset, because we want to win. We're getting old. We're tired of this losing excuse propaganda garbage. We want a program as good as your show.
God bless you.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate the phone call.
It's reality.
There's always a lot to dive into when Greg calls.
Well, I mean, he does present facts. And I did see that Orlovsky segment. The
coaching malpractice.
Yeah, Greg's not exaggerating at all. That was it. I mean, it was Orlovsky pointing out that how clearly they were tipping their hand. The Panthers. Now, and there's no doubt that Trev lost leverage, and the leverage swung to Trace Armstrong and Matt Rule. Trace Armstrong being Matt Rule's agent. Of course, they had leverage late. He had him over the fire. I mean, if Rule turns down the job in the 11th hour, it's going to be a situation at Nebraska. So they got the leverage. I mean, they did. And $9 million, Greg, there's no doubt $9 million's I mean, I made the statement on the show the other day.
You said 7.
I said 7.
It's 9.2.
And I thought when I was saying 7, it seemed high. And then you correct me and said, no, actually it's 9, old man.
0.2.
Yeah.
9.2.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't tell yourself it went to 9 in your head.
9 is big. That's a big number. You're right, Greg. But Greg is also right in saying it doesn't bother me. It doesn't, because I guess it's because, Greg, Nebraska has the money. Nebraska has the money. It's not fully obtuse. It touches obtuse, that contract is big. And when you look at it in the context of Braum getting just over what? He's not even getting 6.
Not 6, yeah. The guy just won the division.
Right. Braum at
Beat
Louisville. He's getting $5 million plus. In the context of Braum not getting $6 million, in the context of Fickle getting 7 plus.
Almost 8.
Okay.
7.9, I think he's getting.
Okay. Well, okay.
But that's the coach of the year from last season.
Yeah. So
Playoff
it's a
bound
lot. And we definitely. But see, on the other hand, though, Greg, some people are going to say if Trev didn't do that and lost him, he was going to get criticized for being too good of a steward, right? Sybil would say, quit worrying about being a good steward and pay the coach. So he can't win. In some ways, Trev can't win in that.
Greg pointed out, though, that one thing that bothered some fans was that it's 90% guaranteed, the whole contract.
Right.
There's a lot of money out there. It's guaranteed.
Right.
And you're top 10 paid coach in the country. So now the fear is if it doesn't work out now, then what do you have to pay the next coach to come and inherit this place?
But I'm not.
Can't think that way.
No, I'm not going to criticize
because he hasn't even coached a game yet.
Right. And that's where Greg, me and that's where we diverge a little bit. I'm not going to say it's a waste of money right now. He hasn't coached yet.
Right.
Could be a bargain if he leads them to the final. Well, it'd be the final 12 now. But if he leads them to the college football playoff, we're going to be saying, okay, $9 million. All right.
Pretty good coach. Yeah. Goodbye. Another phone call. We've got Tyler. Tyler, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Good morning.
Hey, Tyler.
I was just calling because speaking with hearing what Greg said, I know a lot of Husker fans might not be 100% for Matt Rule, but at the end of the day, we weren't the ones, to be able to make that hire. I think Trev had a good feeling in him, and I think at the end of the day, we kind of have to get behind him, trust what's going on, and I think it's an 8-year contract because he's meant to build programs, and I don't think it's going to be that hard to get us to where we need to be. I mean, I think 6 wins could be really reasonable next year, given hopefully we can keep some of the guys on the team and obviously bring in some guys, maybe help the line a little bit. And I don't know. I think we just have to get behind Matt. I mean, we don't have a say in who we hired.
No, you don't, Tyler, but you're young. Tyler, how old are you?
I'm 26.
See, when I was your age, I sounded like you, and I would just say, you got to trust the AD and get behind the hire. Now, as I've gotten older, I'm like, I don't know if I trust the AD. Why would I trust the AD? Look what's happened at Nebraska. I mean, so I like your youth and your youthful optimism, but Greg's an older gentleman like me, and we get a little more skeptical about everything. And Jake's an older gentleman too.
Yeah, I'm an old.
Yeah, I get that, and especially with kind of the past with the ADs we've had, and it seems like Husker fans, we kind of get our hopes up and then we get burned, and I understand that, and it's hard because I guess I wasn't around for the glory days, and I'd love to see it obviously go back there, but it just seems like it's a hope we gotta kind of get up and get back to where we should be.
Yeah. There's a fine line between just blind faith and healthy skepticism.
Sure. Thanks for the call, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Don't have blind faith, but don't be overly skeptical, right? There's a sweet spot you got to achieve. And I think I've achieved it.
Like even me, I'm a pessimist at this point.
But you're pretty optimistic.
But I'm not going to go into this hire and say it's a failure before it starts.
Right.
I have optimism.
Right.
I like the Tony White hire from yesterday.
Yeah. And Greg, by the way, and I'm glad Greg said what he did about his loyalty to the program. His loyalty to the program remains high. I mean, he's still very loyal.
Still follows it.
Greg listens to our show every single day.
Every day.
He's very loyal. But that doesn't mean that Greg has to sign off on everything that's happening over there. Right? And I respect that about Greg. He calls it like he sees it. And we'll see.
Yes. Thanks for Greg. Greg's always a polarizing call. I appreciate when he calls it because he's passionate, man. The guy has a lot of fire. And there's always a lot of response to when Greg calls in. So thanks to Greg. Thanks to Tyler for calling in that segment. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that was good. Good job, Tyler. And good job, Greg. It's always nice to hear from people.
It is. Phones are still open for you guys. 402-464-5685. We'll have more next on Early Break in the Ticket.
It's another hockey jersey auction night this Saturday as the Lincoln Stars host the Tri-City Storm down at the spot. Santa and Mrs. Claus will also meet and greet with fans throughout the night. With only 2 home games left before Christmas, make sure to make your holiday plans with the Stars. The puck drops at 6:05, and tickets can be purchased now at LincolnStars.com.
Are you looking for some holiday fun right in the heart of downtown Lincoln? Bring your friends and family to Lincoln's largest drive-through Christmas lights experience. This show features countless high-quality lights in vibrant colors, holiday props, and favorite characters of the season, all synchronized to music to enjoy in your car. Start a new holiday tradition this experience light show at Haymarket Park from November 26th to January 3rd at 5 p.m. to purchaseshow.com.
Are you tired of lousy internet? Local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. Not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crisp, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
When you want to play slots, when you want to win, head to Warhorse Casino Lincoln, where luck is on your side. The winning starts right away when you join Warhorse Rewards. Get $10 in free slot play with a chance to win up to $500. Hit big on your favorite slot. Great service from our friendly staff. Get ready to win when you play at Warhorse Casino Lincoln.
Must be 21 or older to enter. Proper ID is required. Gambling problem? 1-833-BET-OVER.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wage and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Trade positions are at $30.76 per hour. Opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no minimum cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hi, I'm Steve Carper for O Street Carpet. For Christmas, we're doing everything possible to help you spruce up your home without making a dent in your holiday budget. If you need new wood flooring, new carpet, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you want to shop at O Street Carpet. We offer 12-month same-as-cash financing, Lincoln's best selection in stock, free in-home measuring, and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a carpet life.
Research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you can earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2065 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train physicians. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
Guys, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping has changed my life. I'm healthier, I'm more fit, have more energy, and oh yeah, I've lost a bunch of weight, almost 100 pounds. Now's the time for you to take control of your health and join the Farrell's 10-week challenge. The program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition to set you up for success. And ticket listeners, you can get in for half off. The next challenge starts on January 7th at both of their locations, 40th and Yankee Hill, and their brand new spot at 70th and Vine. Get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Join today. Farrell's Body Shaping.
Finally, a good read to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. This
Anybody who knows me knows I was cocky out of the womb.
is Early Break with Zip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Once again, keep your calls and texts coming, 402-464-5685. Appreciate that. There's always a lot of thoughts post Greg calls on the text line and on the phones.
Yeah, and
which is why we like him calling, because he's polarizing.
Yeah, and
some love him, some hate him, and I love Greg.
I like what he said about that you're starting to grasp the master's pebble, me being the master. I told
I'm
him.
taking your pebble.
I said you're growing up before our eyes. You are growing up before our eyes. It's nice.
I'm 31 years old. I've been growing up for a while now. Not college anymore. We've got some more response out there.
To Greg.
Yeah. Let's go to the phones. We've got Casey from Kansas who was chiming in. Casey, you're on Early Break. Go ahead, man.
Hey, first off, Greg from Florida needs to drink a little bit of the Kool-Aid. Like, let's go a little bit of it in him down there. No, I don't know. I think with you, Sip, we gotta let this Matt Rule thing play itself out a little bit. And I think what's really striking is it's in such a different direction than where everyone else thought it was going to be. I think I was listening to Husker Online, and they had one of the Colorado ADs on there, and you realize that Deion Sanders wasn't the first choice there. He was like the third. And that kind of screams of desperation. So I'd rather have not a desperation hire, I guess, is where I'd go with that.
Yeah. This is not a desperation hire.
Like, and I feel like I'm a little more comfortable, like we're not, some experiment to see if we can get Nebraska on last chance U. I mean, that's kind of what the Deion Sanders hire feels like for Colorado there. But no, just Greg, Florida, drink a little bit of the Kool-Aid, man. Have some fun with the rest of us this offseason.
All right, Casey. It's Greg in Myrtle Beach, but it's close up to Florida.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing about Greg. He saw the Carolina Panthers situation up close. So Jake, Casey, Jake, he saw it. He was in the stadium. So it impacted him. And that's he's coming from that perspective. He's also, Greg's coming from the agent world perspective because he swims with those sharks, does Greg. And he hears the talk and he sees that contract. Now, I'm not critical of the contract, in part because Nebraska has the money and it was in a spot where it needs to pay. All right. We don't need a bargain right now. No, we need to pay somebody. Now, Greg's thought is we paid the wrong guy. That's his thought. I can swing that conversation pretty easily and say, I think we paid the right guy. is a guy who steered. I always say it, steered those big ships at Temple and Baylor, and got them on track. Rebuilding projects.
You just don't know. I mean, like we point out, he is a guy that played football at Penn State. I know that was a long time ago, but he has a Big Ten background.
He understands a Big Ten.
Sure. Like for those who say, yeah, he's never coached. No, but he played here and he understands the conference. He's a Pennsylvania man.
I mean, this is a topic that has two sides. I mean, it really does.
Of course it does.
And Greg represents that kind of reality side. Greg didn't say anything that wasn't true, right? Nothing. Everything he said was true. The Orlovsky
coaching malpractice.
Yeah, that happened. I saw it. I saw that he was tipping off run pass. Orlovsky did a video on it. Yeah, I mean it's not the best. Josh.
A call from Josh on the Honda of Lincoln hotline 464-5685. Josh, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Hey guys, I've been listening for a long time, and I know Greg knows his stuff. And like Sip just said a second ago, nothing he said wasn't true. But I would say he was really high on Urban and talked about how Rule failed in the NFL. Well, Urban failed in the NFL maybe even more miserably than Rule did.
Fair.
And so college is just a different game. I mean, Saban failed in the NFL. He's maybe the best college coach of all time. So I just don't see how you can be so high on Urban and then criticize Rule because of his NFL. If anything, when you say Urban's proven, then you could also say Rule is proven to be a college program builder. So you have to use the same argument when you're comparing both candidates and not just use it for one, but not the other.
Yes.
So that's all I have to say.
No,
Good call, Josh. Thank you.
Josh, really good call. That's a good point. Now, Greg, Greg is very much an Urban fan.
Yes.
And advocated the hire of Urban Meyer. But Urban Meyer was a miserable failure in the NFL.
He was.
A joke.
The thing, he was a joke. It was terrible. The thing with Urban that still has him as a better resume over Matt Rule is he's got championships. He's got rings. He's got 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
3 national titles.
Yeah, 3 rings.
2 at Florida, 1 at Ohio State.
Yes, you got it.
Consistently on top of the conference every year.
Right.
3 losses never happened.
I mean, everybody knows
amazing.
He's got the college
sustained success. Awful NFL tenure in his 1 year. They're awful.
Right.
No one denies it. Awful.
Yeah, Josh brought that up, but that's good. I'm glad he brought
sustained
that up.
and sustained college success.
And just to be clear, I was asked this last night in Springfield. Trev did not talk to Urban Meyer. He did not. Greg didn't address that. But Urban and Trev they did not talk about, Trev mentioned 13 people. He didn't mention them. He said he talked to 13 people about the job. Urban Meyer was not one of those people.
We don't know the full. We assumed the list. We talked about the list last week.
Well, hold on. We can get to 10 and they're not assumptions. I could get to 10 without characterizing them as assumptions. I don't have I do have the list with me, I think. Hold on a second. Yes.
That random sheet of paper out of nowhere.
Rule 1, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
1A, that's what he said.
Leipold, definite. Doran, definite.
Dave Doran.
Fickle, definite. Fickle is reports. There's reports about that. Kleiman. My sources feel really good about it. Jake, that's 5.
Okay.
Mendenhall, no doubter.
6.
Talk to 6. Mark Stoops, no doubter.
7.
Mickey Joseph, no
8.
doubter. 8. Matt Campbell, no doubter. 9. Now, that's where it's after 9 where I start.
What about Kalen DeBoer? Think he was talked to for sure at all or not?
He got a contract extension raise.
Same time as Stoops, right?
Yeah, but I'm not as positive about DeBoer. I stopped kind of at 9. Football Scoop had Patterson and Monken identified, and I tend to trust Football Scoop until Football Scoop reports that John Garrison became the offensive line coach at Nebraska, and then deleted it, and then I lose confidence in things like that when things like that happen. 9. that I feel good about.
And then the next four, we're not sure.
Aranda could be in there,
Dave
right?
Aranda, possibly.
Yeah. Or
we don't know about Bielema or Fleck, possibly those guys.
No.
You know, early on there was thoughts Nebraska might talk to Jim Leonard, but I don't know if that ever happened either.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Aranda,
Dave Aranda,
O'Brien. See, I felt good about those 9, but after that, like Sean Callahan maintains Jeff Traylor was part of the
UTSA.
13. Yeah, and he might have been. Jeff Traylor.
Another phone call.
Let's do it.
To the phones. John, you're up next in an early break. Go ahead.
Hey guys, good morning. I don't like the comparison to NFL, and I mean it's been kind of proven college football coaches do not pan out in the NFL. I think you're either a college football coach or you're an NFL coach. I think what we have in Rule and why Trev went with him is we need a coach that can develop players. We just haven't had that.
Yep.
It's going to all come down to, can Matt recruit? And here at Nebraska, we don't get 5 stars. We get a few 4 stars. But the big thing with college coaches is, can you convince a 3-star or a 4-star to put the work in to learn and be a good football player? Our coaches that we've had recently haven't been able to do that. I mean, I look at Scott Frost. He recruited okay. He got some 4 stars and everything, but he did not develop talent. So I think where Trev is saying is Matt Rule can develop, and Matt said it in his press conference, I like to develop talent. That's what we need at Nebraska is a coach that's going to develop talent. Let's give Matt some time, see if he can develop this talent. He's either going to go out and recruit good players and then teach them how to play football, or he's going to fail. But everybody who hires, that is a possibility, is it not? So I'm kind of with Sip. I understand that the crowd of this is a terrible hire. It's what we've got right now. So let's support him, see what happens. But I love the fact that he likes to develop talent, because since Osborne and Solch, I just don't see the coaching staff developing this talent. And I see Matt Rule as a guy that goes out, grabs 3, 4-star talent and develops them.
He's proven it.
And the NFL thing, I mean, what is the last college coach to take the jump to the NFL that has been successful? And Matt Rule went to Carolina. It's a different beast. Those guys don't want to be developed. These are already 5 stars. And he didn't have a quarterback. There's a lot of things that went against Matt Rule. I think he's a great guy. I don't know if he's a great, if he's going to rebuild Nebraska, but I think he's what we've got. So let's roll with him. Hopefully he develops this talent, and we'll see where it goes. So all of Greg's ranting and all of that, I get it. There's validity behind it, but you're forgetting when you're bringing all this up that he did bring Temple. We're not talking Temple. He brought Temple to heights that they've never known before. So I see Matt Rule a lot like Greg Schiano. I think he can do it here, and I'm all behind it. So that's my positivity for this Friday. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, John. I would say that to answer his question about who's the last guy to go from college to the NFL? Pete Carroll, but he was in the NFL before that too. He went NFL, college, NFL.
But he worked out both in both.
He did, right.
And it's not like, now you can go too far with hey, he's our guy, support him, because then you could put anybody in there and say that. But I'm not criticizing John. John's right. It's not, you just didn't put a guy in there that hasn't succeeded. Rule has succeeded. He has a proven track record, and he has a proven track record of development.
Right, which is what I've been preaching for years.
Yeah. Now you did run out a guy who developed guys at a high level. Bo Pelini.
You know what, Josh? 8 years ago, some of us run out Bo Pelini.
But I don't.
8 years ago.
No. But I'm not. It's not just you. It's a lot of people. And what I say to that, you casually dismiss it. I don't casually dismiss when people advocate for firing people and changing the course of their lives, and then people shrug it off and say, "Oh, well, we were wrong." No, I mean,
that wasn't a shrug. I thought about it.
But anyway,
I've had some thoughts.
Pelini,
some deep conversations.
Pelini would say, "We're going to teach more detail than anybody in the country. We're going to teach more detailed football than anybody in the country. That's how we're going to overcome these recruiting sort of disadvantages we have." And I think that's what Rule's going to do. He's going to take like that Pelini mindset. We're going to teach more detailed than anybody in the country, and we're going to develop at a high level. And the thing about Rule is you can point to Rule's track record at Temple and Baylor where there's clear development, where they recruit guys, 3-star type players, a lot of them, and send them to the NFL for long careers. Okay, it's proven. They're out there. The numbers are there. All right, he's done it. The records are there.
Mm-hmm.
The records are there. So this is not just any guy. It's a guy that does have a proven track record. And you have to acknowledge that. Now, Greg, I also respect Greg seeing Carolina Panther football up close, and it was a disaster. It was.
Thank you for using my word.
You're welcome.
The thing we don't know about Matt Rule is if he can consistently sustain that success before moving somewhere, right? Temple leaves after getting to 10 wins twice in a row. Baylor leaves after 11 wins. Can he? We have not seen 10 years of, hey, Matt Rule has the first 2 years are rough. Can he keep it the sustained 11 wins for years?
That'd be nice to find out.
Yeah, that'd be a good spot to be in. One last call before we get to the game show. Another John has chimed in. John, you're up on early break. Go ahead.
Good morning, guys. Hey, all I got to say is Greg can stay down in Myrtle Beach where they hang out at golf courses and in his skyboxes and sip on wine and act like he's in a fake Southern draw. We're in Nebraska. We're going to roll up our sleeves. We're going to pitch hay. We're going to chew real Copenhagen, and we're going to spit on his shoes.
Whoa.
So
okay.
we are going to develop a tough team. So let us remain a flyover state. He can stay in Myrtle Beach and let Rule develop the meanest, toughest group of guys in the trenches, and that's the way it's going to be. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. At 7:47 a.m. It's a good night from John.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
The day's over. Good night, everybody.
Oh my God, I love that.
That's
Good
great.
night, Jake.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Go pitch our hay, chew a real Copenhagen, and spit on Greg's shoes. Good night.
Good night to everybody.
On that note, thank you, John, and the other callers. Let's play the game
God,
show.
Great
give us a call right. Give us a call right now. 464-568. Have a chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. I believe you're 2-2 in the week.
Yes,
you
you're
won.
right.
You won Monday, Tuesday, lost Wednesday, Thursday. Now, can you get a winning week? Look good by Tuesday. Today, it's all up to this. Today's topic: Film Friday, weather movies. You know, it's winter time. Gets snowy, sleet, slick outside. Weather movies. You think you know your weather movies? Call us up 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It's to you. It gets to a point where you just yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call the Takedown Sip and Trivia. He's trying to have a winning week for like the fourth straight week. How do you feel about weather movies today?
Better
Sip?
than you think, probably.
Okay. All right, we've got Gunner. Gunner, how do you feel about weather movies today?
I'm about 50-50 on them.
Gunner. For calling.
Good name, Gunner. Appreciate that. All right, Gunner. First question goes to you. Here we go in weather movies. What actor was the leader of the Tornado Chasers in the 1996 movie Twister?
Oh.
This is for Gunner.
Oh. Say the main character or the actor of the main character?
I'd like to know the actor's name, the real name.
Is that Bill Paxton?
You are correct. Bill Paxton is correct. That's a good get right there by Gunner. 1-0 lead. Would you have had Bill Paxton?
Yes, because you've done it before.
Oh, but
I was ready.
Good memory there.
Yeah.
Okay, Sip for the tie. Your first question. What 2000 movie features Mark Wahlberg, George Clooney, and John C. Reilly as fishermen who get caught in an unusual weather pattern and puts them in mortal danger?
Get caught in a weather pattern?
Yep. Fisherman.
Fisherman?
Yeah.
5. It's a weather movie?
Yep. 5. 4. 3.
No, hold on.
2.
I'm on the verge of this.
1. Half.
Can't get it. Tip of my tongue. Can't get it.
Gunner, do you want that one or not?
I do.
Go for it.
That's a classic. That's The Perfect Storm.
The Perfect Storm is correct. Does not look good for you, Sip. You're down 2-0.
Classic?
That's a classic. It is a good movie. 2000. For the win, Gunner, for the resounding 3-0 sweep on a Friday. What 2004 movie features Dennis Quaid, who must travel from Washington, D.C. to New York City to reach his son, trapped in the crosshairs of a sudden international storm which plunges the planet into a new ice age?
That's The Day After Tomorrow.
And a 2-0 start to the week ends in a losing week. 3 straight losses. That was a brilliant performance by Gunner. We'll get you bagels. Congrats, Gunner, and call it down the road. Nice win today.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
You too, Gunner.
Gunner. You loved it. Hey, you lost to a good name at least.
I know.
Gunner's a good name.
Yeah, that was rough. Rough waters there.
Yeah.
Rough waters.
Weirdo.
Why is that weird? All right, go ahead.
You want your last question?
Sure.
Or tiebreaker?
Sure.
The Shining takes place in a winter storm in Colorado where Jack Nicholson's character is driven back to drinking and he goes insane. What is his character name?
I don't know. I've seen the movie. I don't know. Jake.
Jack Torrance.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that. Jack Torrance?
Yeah.
Jack Torrance.
Like Torrance. Torrance. Tiebreaker. What was the film length of The Day After Tomorrow? In hours and minutes.
2 hours and 7 minutes.
Woo-hoo! 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Oh.
Pretty good guess. That was your best guess of the whole day.
Yeah. Didn't have a very good day of on shut up.
You have not had a 3-0 loss for a long time.
No.
Because you've won a lot, but when you've lost, it's been tiebreaker or close.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah, Gunner, that was a technical knockout. Technical knockout.
TKO.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And they didn't get me off my feet, but he got me. The ref had to
He
step
knocked you
in.
out of the ring.
No, he
You
didn't.
went over the ropes.
No,
man.
I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. The ref had to step in.
You're on the ground over there outside the ropes. There's always Monday to recover, though. You get the weekend to recover. Get back on track. The Spillover with Raf and AD is next on Early Break in the Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina guarantees the hour round, and their culture makes not a job, but a career. Trucking auto insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you can earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go.
Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Book your appointment today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFX weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Mostly cloudy skies this morning, but we should break into some sunshine by this afternoon. We'll top out near 41. Winds out of the northwest around 10 to 15. Mostly clear tonight. A low dropping down to around 24. And a nice warm up just in time. Dark could be mainly sunny tomorrow with a high of 47. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and the Ticket.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover. Raph and AD are in the house on a Friday. Good morning, gentlemen. Good to see you here.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday.
A lot going on, guys. You got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
You got Tony White to talk about. You got
New
Ernest
defensive
Hausman.
coordinator.
Ernest Hausman visiting Iowa.
Oh, boy.
You got a lot to chew on.
Good times.
Good times.
Yeah, I think the news, obviously, the day was Tony White being named defensive coordinator. But, yeah, and then there was news last night that Ernest Hausman, as you mentioned, was seen at the Iowa State basketball game in Iowa City being recruited by the Hawkeyes. That would suck. Of the one guy you wanted to keep on defense so far.
Well, no, there's other guys you want to keep.
That's announced he's leaving.
Yeah.
That's the one that hurts the most, and especially if he was going to stay in the Big Ten, in your own division.
Yeah.
AD is a big fan of this.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so off the air.
AD is all in on Hausman visiting Iowa. Loves it.
Sometimes you hold your peace on something. I just got to gather my thoughts.
Just gather yourself. Gather your feet. Like you're doing a layup. Gather your feet. Gather your feet.
Look, he can't even do it. He's trying. He can't do it.
He's good.
He lost the ball out of bounds.
There it went.
All right, go to Raph. Raph,
Yeah, I think
can you
that's a good
make
idea.
this layup, Raph? I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's like the ball's stuck between the rim and the backboard. All right, Raph, come on. Get the ball out of there. You're 6'7".
Anywhere but Iowa. Anywhere but Iowa. Oh, come on, Ernest.
Right.
Yeah, not done yet. Again, he's just visiting yesterday, but it's not great to see him in the basketball arena watching the Iowa.
He's got to know the reaction of people, doesn't he?
I think that maybe Tony White needs to give Ernest a call and show him the strengths of the 3-3-5 and the blitzes that can come out of that and what kind of season he can have. Ernest, come back to Nebraska. We'll see you on the fall.
Reel him back in.
Reel him back in.
Now we actually have a coordinator. So, yeah, they make that phone
Maybe
call,
you
find a
can.
way to get him back here. Talk some sense into Ernest. Stay
Yeah.
here, man. Come on. You're a Columbus boy.
Now, kids are interesting, aren't they? Because I wonder, do you think that my guess is his teammates don't react like us?
No.
My guess.
Because they're in the same situation.
Right.
Some of them, you know?
Exactly.
So it's tough.
Yeah, some of them came from other places.
Yeah.
Some of
It'd be
them
hypocritical of some of those
Right.
guys that, you know, that maybe have came from other places, or if they will go and do it next year. So I think in this case, you know, like I said, I'm just choosing my words carefully on this one because man, anywhere but Iowa, bro. I mean,
We're just in such a different time and place. Like college football is not college football what it used to be. Like if there would have been back in the 90s and a player like in the starting 11, like say the 97 team and the starting 11 has been like, all right, well, I'm going to transfer to Iowa right now. Jason Peter and Grant Wistrom probably would have took him out back and, you know,
And what?
Probably let them know what they thought about him transferring to Iowa.
I think you're right.
But now,
Not just them
But
either.
today's college football, everybody, you know, like even when like Ernest Hausman like announced that he was entering the transfer portal, there were a lot of players that are on the team now that, you know, were saying, all right, you know, looking forward to the big things you do. Congratulations. You know, I hope,
It's
you know,
changed.
wish you all the best. Get the
Changed.
bag, get the bag, you know. And so it's
Get
a
the
lot,
bag.
It's a lot different. I don't know.
It's just way different.
It just feels like there's just not the same like allegiance to the university as what there used to be. And that doesn't go just for Nebraska. That goes for all over the country. I mean, look at Alabama right now. They've got like, what do we see?
12
guys.
Is there 12 now in the
12
portal?
guys in their portal. Yeah.
12 in the portal.
2 starters.
Yeah. Or actually it's 12 scholarships in the portal and then 19 total that, you know, so
But isn't there the thought, though, that, hey, these guys didn't pan out. We need better players. Saban's kind of telling them to go to the portal.
Oh, it's both ways.
Those guys
There's-
can load up on talent every year.
There are some, and
But that's
you're
happening
right,
in
Jay.
Nebraska too, though.
They don't have
There's
the
some
talent
guys
that Bama's getting, though.
No, but there's some Nebraska guys in the portal that I'm sure they were nudged into the portal.
Yes. Okay, nudge, yeah.
Go
See,
ahead. Ed.
the thing, and it's a good point because that sometimes we see a person, and I'm not saying it's the case for Hausman, but you see sometimes where guys are getting the portals, like, why is that guy going? Sometimes you're asked to go. It's like, you know what? I don't see it being a fit.
See,
You
and
know-
the players would say, hey, now wait a second. Coaches can push us into the portal, but we can't go in on our own. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
It's both ways.
Should be a two-way street.
Yeah, it's both ways.
That's what they're going
It's
to say.
both ways.
Yeah.
And in the portal, the
They can-
administration cannot deny them that either.
Can't.
You know, it's like back in the day when we were talking on the radio yesterday. I don't think we were talking conversation yesterday to where back in the day, the coach could tell you, well, you can transfer, but you can't go to this school, this school, this school,
Yeah,
this school,
right.
this school, and definitely not rival, and you're not going back close to home. So they kind of had you handcuffed, which I thought I didn't kind of. I mean, it was both like, that's kind of bush league, but now it's like we talked about a few weeks before. The NIL and the transfer portal, in particular transfer portal, it is like toothpaste out of the tube. You can't put it back in.
You better go with it.
This thing right now,
Better go
because
with
it was all, and when it came out and exploded. NCAA has no control. It's a wildfire right
You
now.
got to adapt, though.
You can't. Yeah, you got to adapt. But I think it's going to take some years, though, fellas. It's going to take some time because think about it. There's still 42 days left of this.
But if you're a coach, you just got to adapt to it, or you're not going to be around.
You won't. You won't. In fact, I was telling them yesterday, 2 coaches, in particular, one's a very good friend of mine. It's recruiting. You know, it's a big school. He goes, man, I think maybe 2 years left of this, and I'm done. He goes, you are no longer recruiting the athlete. The athletes are asking him at recruiting trips. So how much can I get?
Right.
Parents are asking how much can I get? Not the quality of education, not what defense or offense running.
No.
How much can I get?
Right.
He's like, dude, I've been time. He goes, this is not football anymore.
Well, yeah,
It's not football.
Look at the
It's free
basketball.
agency.
Look at the basketball. Jay Wright retires because he didn't want to put up with this anymore.
Right.
Retires.
Well, Roy Williams didn't
Coach
want to put
K,
up with it.
done.
Roy didn't want to put up
Roy
with it.
Williams, I mean, some of the greatest coaches ever
Are
in
done.
college basketball. Just saying, I'm done.
They're done.
Mm-hmm.
It's no, fellas. I'm gonna tell you something. We have lost the innocence. We've stripped the innocence away from collegiate sports. We stripped it. Now we know it's always been going on under the tables.
That's the
you
thing.
know, Whopper bags full of cash. Things like that. But it was under the table, and those who got caught know they're going to get penalized for it. Now it's just wide open. We've lost and we've stripped the sanctity of college football
Boy,
away and college sports.
People would come at you pretty hard, AD. With it was happening, AD.
It was happening.
It was already happening.
Absolutely.
But not to like this.
Not like this. Because,
Right.
but you know what? I had no problems with athletes getting paid. But where's the rules? Where's the regulations? Where's the parameters? I would say. Where's the parameters? How do we keep order? And there's no order right now. There's no order right now.
No, and if there are literally, if a player has a big game at Nebraska, they're in the NIL office the next day. Okay, let's do this.
That game ahead.
Man,
2
but now
touchdowns.
some people say, "What's wrong with that?" I mean, are you going to do your show and expect not to get paid? I don't know. So what I always say is the parameter. I mean,
there's
college athletics. They know what the deal is when they get into it, and for a long time it was just fine. They knew what they were getting. No one's forcing them to play college football. Nobody's pushing them into that life. They were entering it willingly and joyfully. It seemed like it was the outside that said this is wrong. It wasn't like the players were.
Right.
I never in 30 years had a college player come to me and say, "I need you to write an article. We got to start getting paid. This is really unfair." It seemed like it was the outside that said, "Hey, it's really unfair."
Right.
And maybe people would say, "Well, they're kids, Sip. They don't know." But okay, they're kids, but now we're paying them like adults. None of it squares up.
No.
I remember the offseason before NAL, several years before, Eric Martin had that, we need our checks was kind of the thing. Remember that? We need our checks. It was like probably 2014 though.
Yeah. What was he talking about?
He wanted some money.
Scholarship.
They wanted some money. They wanted NAL to be real back then. They wanted some money, a stipend.
Which I think they should get some money.
Then it was like
I do think they should get paid. But there's just like you mentioned the radio, we can't say anything we want to say because you're going to hit that button over there.
Right.
There's rules. There's parameters.
Right.
So although we've chosen to do this and we are being paid, but there's still things we can and cannot do on the air.
No, and there's still parameters even with pay. I can't just go to DP and say, "Okay, I need this right now."
Right.
And if I don't get it, I'm done. I can't really do that.
Right.
I mean, it's not.
Well, you are Sip.
With all that drip.
Wow.
Sip with the drip.
Sip with the drip.
Yeah, so don't easy.
That might have to be a new T-shirt.
No, I don't like that T-shirt.
Sip with the drip.
You can't do that without my approval.
You can buy it for himself though.
Tony White, thoughts? Tony
defensive coordinator from Syracuse, now Nebraska's DC.
What stood out to me? Go ahead first, Raph. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, take everything out of it, and say, since Deion Sanders is the popular guy right now, if Deion Sanders would have went out and named Tony White the new defense coordinator, what would have been
they got a great young guy,
great young coach, coached under Dino Babers at Syracuse. Oh my god, and there'd be this huge pop because he's the next best thing in college football. Nebraska gets him, and I understand Nebraska fans. They've been hurt over the last 20 years,
beaten,
and it's more, instead of looking at the positives of what Tony White brings in Nebraska, it's trying to find every single negative possible. 3-3-5. Oh, we're not going to be able to stop the run.
And he's never said
well, look at the 3-3-5. The way you can, even if he wants to run the 3-3-5, it converts very easily to a 4-3.
Right.
And it's just like,
isn't it when Nebraska's in the nickel, they're basically a 3-3-5?
It's basically the same thing.
But it's so funny, and that you hear all the negative, and I'm sure there are positives out there. I read, I get caught in that Twitter loophole where I start reading people's comments and stuff.
It's a loophole. It really is.
And they're
sure is.
And
that's a kind way to put it.
Yeah.
I was going to say rabbit hole.
I was going to say hellhole.
That's cool. But yeah.
Ralph, that's a good take though.
Oh,
if Prime hires him, oh man, he got an up and comer. He got an up and comer. He got an up and comer.
If we would have hired Kent State's coach to come be our offense coordinator, There would have been like, what in the world is going on?
We going to the MAC now?
We hired a MAC, you know, and Deion Sanders has, he's the greatest young mind in college football today. And okay. It's like,
That's a good
Love
point.
that.
Hey,
Love
Raph,
that stance,
Raph,
Raph.
it's a good point.
Great point.
AD thoughts.
Let's just close it down on
My-
that one.
well, here's one thing that stood out to me was the people from Syracuse were like, no.
That's what I said. Yeah.
No, you can't take him.
Good
Because he was apparently potentially being in line for the guys I've talked to. He could have been a potential hire for Syracuse, the next coach, or other
Yes.
places. And he was also the Mountain West Recruiter of the Year 2 times.
2 times. That's right.
This dude is no dummy.
No,
Folks,
you're right.
What I'm going to say to folks out there, do your research. Don't go to Twitter, do your research, okay? Because you get caught up in that hellhole.
but if you do go to Twitter, you can go to my Twitter. It's
Oh, here we go.
Chris
Raph on
Raff
Twitter.
7. Chris Raff 7. All right. Just throwing it out there. Have a great morning. It's Friday. Love
That's
y'all.
it. That's it. The drive is next. For Steve Sipple, I'm Jake Source to see you.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise